The RSI Meteor is being marketed as a sleek and devastatingly effective medium fighter designed for pilots who favor high-speed engagements and rapid, high-impact strikes. With its elegant frame, powerful forward-focused arsenal, and a rare addition of onboard living quarters, RSI is presenting the Meteor as a ship that stands apart from its contemporaries. However, upon closer examination, the ship's purpose, value, and position in the broader Star Citizen fleet raises several important questions, particularly for players who prioritize performance and versatility over style and novelty. The first issue arises from the Meteor's classification. RSI labels it as a medium fighter, yet the ship is a single-seater with no modular interior and a singular emphasis on alpha strike tactics. It lacks the resilience and sustained firepower of the Vanguard line, and it doesn't offer the multi-role flexibility of ships like the Super Hornet or the Scorpius. Instead, it fills more the role of a hybrid between an interceptor and a strike craft, built for hit-and-run tactics rather than prolonged engagements or fleet support. In that sense, its closest mechanical cousins are ships like the Ares Inferno and Ion. This calls into question what exactly the Meteor brings to the table that hasn't already been done, arguably with more purpose by other ships within the current roster. The Meteor's central gimmick, if we can call it like that, is its distinctive weapon loadout. The ship is equipped with 2 bespoke size 5 ballistic cannons, 4 size 3 laser repeaters, and an array of missiles. This setup promises immense burst potential, allowing the Meteor to strike quickly and hard, but this approach is inherently limited. Ballistic weapons suffer, unfortunately, from low ammo capacity, and laser repeaters, while effective in close-range engagements, require careful energy management. In a game where combat scenarios can be chaotic, drawn out, and often involve multiple opponents or waves of ships, fighters that lean too heavily on the one-pass skills tend to struggle over time. Without the ability to sustain fire or adapt to dynamic threats, the Meteor could become a one-trick pony, lethal under ideal conditions but exposed when the fight doesn't go as planned. And that exposure is not just theoretical, it's something I've already experienced firsthand. One of my biggest concerns since the Meteor was first announced was the weakness of its internal components, and unfortunately, those fears were confirmed once I had the chance to fly it in-game. As you can see in the footage, the ship relies on 2 size 1 shield generators, which in my opinion are simply not up to the task. I took the Meteor into a space combat mission here, hoping to test its strike capability in a real combat scenario, and I was soft-deathed almost immediately by a simple volley of 2 missiles. That level of fragility is unacceptable for a ship that is supposed to have this caliber, and certainly for this price tag. This confirms that the Meteor is, without exaggeration, a glass cannon, high on firepower but dangerously low on survivability. One of the most surprising elements of the Meteor, though, is the inclusion of onboard habitation, a feature rarely seen in dedicated fighters. RSI claims this makes the ship uniquely suited for extended operations without the need to return to port. While this does provide a degree of immersion and practical value for solo players, it feels somewhat at odds with the ship's primary function. A vessel designed to dart in and out of high-intensity battles isn't typically one where a pilot will be living long-term. Moreover, several other ships with superior endurance and greater utility, such as the Vanguard series or even the Cutlass, already offer much more substantial living quarters, making the Meteor's inclusion of this feature feel more like a marketing flourish than a meaningful upgrade. The price point of the Meteor only deepens these contradictions. At $240 for the Warborn version and $260 for the standalone edition, the Meteor is positioned among the most expensive single-crew combat ships of the game. That puts it in competition with ships like the Vanguard, Redeemer, and Scorpius, all of which offer more robust versatility, greater survivability, or multi-crew options. When one considers that the Meteor also launches with a bundle of premium paints, with some of the bundles going as high as $37, it becomes clear that this release is not just about utility. It is designed to appeal to collectors, players who enjoy acquiring distinct ships for the sake of their uniqueness, regardless of whether they provide tactical advantage in-game or not. Lastly, there are serious concerns about balance. The bespoke nature of the Meteor's ballistic cannons could pose a problem. If they are overtuned, the ship may become a dominant force in PvP encounters, drawing the ire of the community and inevitably facing nerfs. If they are underwhelming or too limited in ammo, the Meteor could quickly fall into obscurity, seen as a failed experiment rather than a serious contender. The question of whether these weapons can be swapped or modified remains crucial. Ships that rely on proprietary gear often become inflexible and prone to obsolescence when the meta shifts. In conclusion, I would say that the RSI Meteor is visually impressive, that's for sure. However, I also believe that it is probably going to risk prioritizing form over function. While it may attract collectors and fans of RSI's design language, its actual battlefield utility is likely to be niche. It promises high speed, high damage encounters, but in game where adaptability, staying power, and modularity are often more valuable than raw power, the Meteor may find itself confined to very specific combat roles. For players seeking a dependable, long-term combat vessels, there are other ships that offer more for less. So there we have it, guys. That is my review of the RSI Meteor. What do you guys think of this ship? Did you take one for yourself? As far as I'm concerned, I'm flying this thanks to my subscription. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't think I'm going to buy one with real money. Anyway, that's all here for today. What do you guys think of the ship? Did you get one for yourself or not? Are you going to wait maybe for it to go on sale in-game? Well, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget that we are also looking for new members to support the channel, guys. I need your help. You have the link in the pinned comment down there for Patreon and YouTube channel membership. It really helps out with the lights out. Don't forget to like and subscribe also. It really helps with the algorithm on YouTube as well. And I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Cheers.